Oh shit! I just switched up with the Breaking Records shirt on.
Oh man, I know, right? Yo, actually, check this out. I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's go!
Let's go.
Hell
Ah,
yeah. You already know what
ah.
it is. It's the East Coast Beast host. And I'm here with a very special guest. My man is the Bell City King. Actually, no, he's not the Bell City King, but he's definitely the mayor or the town crier. Fucking, when it comes to podcasts, interviews, or promoting shows or making music, this man could tell you about it. Ladies and gentlemen, please let me help me welcome Eddie fucking G. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Insert the gunshots here. Know what I mean? Fuck yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, man. It's fucking honor to have you.
Thank you for having me, man. We just had a dope episode, and we going back to back.
Back
We
to
had a dope
back,
episode
Drake
of
boys.
AGTV, and now we on Breaking Records Radio.
Hell yeah, we are.
Breaking
We're
Records
in
Radio.
here. Breaking Records Radio. Hell yeah. Man, let's start with rap, because I feel like that's where it begins, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, what got you into rap? Like doing it, not just listening to it, but doing it.
Well, we talked briefly on that one. So like Rhapsody the Basement, Big Tigga,
Mm,
one of the best rap shows of all time. Like one of like the best like fucking video platforms. Fucking back in the day with Big Tigger in the booth and shit like that.
yeah.
But like well, yeah, like when he was like, "Yo, we got the brand new Dr. Dre," and I heard the and just like that whole vibe of it, like
Yeah.
and it changed it for me. And I'm like, yo, I want to be a rapper. And then a buddy of mine, Tony Armstrong, showed to him.
Mm,
Um, we used to drink and smoke weed together all the time and party and shit like that. And he was actually rapping. And like just to help out, I would like do a little beatbox for him. Like I do a little shit. Yeah, I'm shitty at beatboxing. I tried it out, but like
mm,
I had to give him something because like I wouldn't want to just like not put in anything because
yeah.
he was sitting there rapping, right, and like I'm like I gotta do something. And then
Gotta do something.
a buddy of his, Kevin, came down from Toronto, and he heard me doing this for Tony, and then he started beatboxing and asked me to spit a rhyme,
Mm.
and it was like, oh shit, I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready for that
I
one.
wasn't ready, and like, but like I spit a couple 1-2s, and we were like, woo! And after that, I just caught the bug.
It was on after that. You
It was
rhymed
fun.
bat with cat, and it was on.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it, man. Me too. Fuck yeah. Man, we have a lot of similarities between us. We started out in the rap, and then we merged into the media.
For sure, for sure.
Um, Tell me about how your first interview came about.
My first time that I had interviewed somebody, or first time
Right. No, the first time you interviewed someone.
okay, actually, it's kind of a better story to kind of tell. Like, the first time I actually had like somebody interviewed me because it led into
Mm,
that. It led
okay.
into that. So like, there was this contest that was going on for uh, uh, um, a college station out of Hamilton, live and direct, had put out on online, um, like actually a group that I was involved with was put into this group, and it was like whoever gets the most amount of votes for this thing, they'll actually have an interview with on live and direct.
Hmm.
And there was 4 of us in the group, and 2 of us fucking went hard. Like like promoting it, and like we like crushed the votes by like a
Okay.
landslide. So it comes time to do the interview, and the other guy that had been like crushing it with me, he didn't like what the other guys were doing. So it ended up being just the three of us going, and then we actually get there, and the interviewer guy, he asked my other buddy all the questions. He didn't even ask me a question. I'm sitting there. I'm thinking. I'm like, out of the three of us that are there, I put in all the work to get this interview, and the guy didn't ask me a single question. So like, I was like, yo, that's kind of shitty. And like,
Right.
and I was watching interviews myself, and I was like, and I was also at doing the shows and shit like that, and I realized like a lot of people around me had never done an interview. Like all the rappers at different shows and shit like that had never done an
Right.
interview. So I was like, yo, what if I actually started a platform and interview the rappers? So it was one of the guys that was in that group, Frank Douglas.
Yep.
Uh, um, I talked to him about me wanting to do this, and he was doing the videos for us. So he actually filmed my first 10 interviews. So, but he was the first interview.
Yo, I was wondering about that. Um, I thought it was COVID that changed your aesthetic. Was it the switching of production staff that really
No,
kind of
like this was this happened in 2012.
okay?
Yeah. This happened in 2012, and then he did the first 10, and then me and him had a falling out. Like just
Yeah,
recently, he started working at the same place I started working at, and like we patched things up and we're good now. But
nice.
we had a falling out, so like I went and got a camera and started doing everything myself after the 10 interviews. But like the first 10 interviews were all the local guys, um like all the local guys around that I've been doing shows with, and after doing those 10 interviews, my inbox got crazy of like people like other rappers being like, oh, I want to be on the show. I want to be
Yeah,
on the show. It was like a snowball effect.
I
And
want you to talk to me next. Yeah,
yeah. So like it started a whole snowball effect, and then like after a while, I was like, yo, like this interview shit is like doing way better for me than my rap had ever been doing.
yeah.
So I kind of like that was 2000. That was the at the end of 2012. So like
Was that bugged out for you when like you started getting more traction on the media than the music? Like, were you
it was like
tripping?
I felt a certain way about it at first because I felt like some of the rappers that like weren't really fucking with my music really wanted to be on the show.
Yeah,
And I kind of found out, I felt the way about it at first, but after a while, yeah, it just like I realized it was like my calling, you know,
yeah,
like people were really fucking with it, like and like people were coming out of the woodwork that weren't fucking with me for a long time, and they were like, oh man, like fucking, like I really fuck with you now. So
word. That's such a trip when you start getting inboxes from people that would never fuck with you when you were just a rapper, you know?
right,
Um, I've definitely had that experience. And, you know, I took it with a grain of salt because I had such respect for motherfuckers, um, that I was like, whatever, it's fine.
yeah.
Uh,
Some of the rappers that I thought were whack that asked me to be on the show, I didn't interview them.
of course. You,
Some of the people that are like that were treating me like shit when I was a rapper. I was like, but I feel I'm actually better than you. Like
yeah.
I didn't have some of those guys on the show, but
Well, I mean, like for people like us, the show doesn't work if I'm not into what you do.
exactly, exactly.
Like I'm not, you know what I mean? The ones that I'm like super a fan of, you can tell, and you know, like It's
Oh,
obvious because I do the super deep dive.
for sure, for sure. Yeah,
You
definitely.
know?
It's definitely a different vibe. Like when you really fuck with people, you know.
Yeah, man. It definitely is. But like I kind of only take the interviews that I fuck with. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
kind of handpicking my interviews in a way. Like I'll just say to Maloney, hey, one day, yo, I want to interview such and such famous East Coast rapper. And, he's a magician, so he makes that shit happen. You know?
for sure, for sure. That's what you
Man,
kind of.
what was it like for you to start reaching out to bigger rappers for interviews?
Um, well, like for me, it was really like at the shows a lot of times. I actually got to like the my first couple interviews. Like I said, like I filmed them, but
Yeah.
after that, I started taking my camera to the shows. So like it was like the rapper would be on the bill. And I just walk up to them, like, hey, I introduce myself, tell them what I do, and I
Mm,
go, you want to do an interview on the side of the building or something like that?
yeah.
Like, like I remember I got that's how I got my Sharon interview.
Oh, man.
When I was just at a show. We were at a show and I walked up to him. I told him what it is, and he's like, yeah, I'll do it. And we just did it at the side of the venue. And that's been most of my like a lot of my big interviews. Like I was saying about the Shot Fire interview, I just walked up to him. I was backstage because I'd already been doing interviews before.
Yeah.
Walked up to him, told him what it is. It actually I actually didn't really start reaching out to rappers until I started getting online. Because a lot of it was at shows.
Yeah. Hell yeah. When the show started to die down, though, you started to reach out, and how was that process?
Well, it all depends on where I was at the time. Like if if I had momentum, because like I've had like life happens and I kind of fallen off at times and got back on, fallen back
Yeah.
on, and
Feel that.
when I was trying to get back on, it was hard as fuck to reach out to some of the people and and get interviews. Like people weren't messaging me back. I had to really
Right.
kind of message like a ton of people, and then once the show was rolling, like messaging the people was easy. It was like, oh yeah, I'll do the show because they check out the show and they see how active it is
Yeah, we know.
and but like yeah, when you're trying to build yourself back up, it's definitely a hard thing of reaching out to the people and
Yeah.
but it's a numbers game. Like if this person doesn't do the interview at this time, reach out to another person. If
Yeah.
that person doesn't do it, it's the same thing with like everything. It's like people be like oh man, I know I can't get a girl and shit like that. Like oh blah, shit like how many girls have you asked out? You know, like if you only ask out if you only ask out three girls and you're not gonna date,
Ask more girls.
you know, like ask more girls, like you know.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying, man. Power in numbers. My
Right?
favorite
I
reply
got
to
actually
an
thinking,
interview request is just like, yo, wait till I'm popping, or wait till I have something out.
oh yeah, I don't like that because like a lot of times people say that, and
Yeah,
me I actually like to get people like away from their media runtime. Like
same.
some of those are the best interviews right there.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about that. Um, what separates a rapper on promo time and a rapper who just came to kick it?
Um, you have to dedicate like a big chunk of the interview to that new project.
Yeah,
When when they're not on that time, you can talk about their whole catalog and you can talk about life shit. Like you can ask them burgers or pizza. Like you know,
Yeah, word.
like when they're on the promo run, like you don't want to really fit in like a food talk part or
No,
or something, right? You want to kind of stick
yeah.
to the script almost.
No, you're right, man. It's almost like people only want to do the promo run, and I'm like, yo, that's cool. For like the second interview or the third interview that I do with you, but the first one I want to get your history. So like that last thing you did was cool, but it's gonna be literally the last thing I talk about.
And like everybody's different. Um, Majority of time, I realized second interview with somebody is sometimes the very best one.
Wow.
Like,
See, I never got there yet. I haven't done a second interview with anybody yet.
okay, like but like it's the second one. It doesn't like it's not like it gets better. Like I've had like the third one, and it's like it's not as good as the second.
Yeah.
Like so like but like the second one is really like the gem a lot of the times because like they're actually comfortable with, like, with you because like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the rappers they really don't know how some of the media shit works sometimes and
Right.
but like after the first interview goes good. They're like, oh yeah, I'll do another interview with you. It's just like kicking the shit, fucking yeah, for sure. And they're so much more relaxed.
Yeah, absolutely, man. They kind of know the flow of things.
Yeah,
Um, they're not worried you're gonna like hit them with the wild fucking inflammatory question.
yeah. After doing like the first interview, you kind of like your actually questions can be better as well because like you're
Yeah, 100%.
you know
Like,
how they vibe. Yeah,
yeah,
you know the whole shit, right?
I look at it like, yo, am I gonna run out of questions in my second interview? You know what I mean? Like, cause like I'm doing a super deep dive on my first one. Like, yo,
Mm.
let's talk about your fucking first grade fucking school dance or some shit. You know, like I'm going deep. But on my second one, I feel like it's like surface level shit that I'm gonna be talking about.
Yeah, it's like for me like I said before I just love to conversate like
Mm.
like talking with people is fun to me, you know, like definitely definitely. Yeah, second interview yeah you're saying you haven't done one with you
No,
haven't done
I haven't
one?
done the second one yet.
Like when you actually decide to do your second one,
Yeah.
you should go through your whole like catalog and be like, okay, like what were some of my favorite ones, and then
Right.
and go back to those people.
Yeah. I mean, like, for example, the Quake interview, like, I feel like there's a bunch of questions I didn't get to there. You know,
Right.
like, I would love to rehab him on when he's got something going or whenever he feels like it. You know, bro, what was your favorite interview that you've ever done? I know this is a crazy question.
Um, that's that's a hard.
I know.
I'll give you like a couple like
Okay, give me
like
your top three.
okay top three
Yeah.
um a rapper transition out of Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's only put out like a couple of songs, but he's been at the like he's one of those people like you really wouldn't know like who he is unless you've been to the shows. But like
Yeah.
he's one of those people who've been at the shows like rapping in my ear like oh da 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 and like always on some funny shit and
Mm-hmm.
like he was so proud to be on the show. Like he started off, he's he's like, Mama, I made it. I'm on NAGTV. Like,
Fuck yeah.
we did that in like a little bus stop, like when it was raining and shit. Like, that was a great one. And then like my brother, like I actually get to this guy, a brother of mine. We'll talk about like that'd be a good thing to talk about later on about how I met Ross Burns. But
Mm.
um I did an interview with him. I've done a bunch of interviews with him, but there's one that like where like he was wearing this jacket that looked like it was from like 1993.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just a classic interview in his basement. But there's that, and then me and Maloney actually talked about it on our last interview. I actually he was putting out his the perfect balance, and me and
Mm-hmm.
him did me and him are both from Brantford, and like Colburn Street is our most busy street, but they actually had it shut down at this time, and we were in the middle of the street, and like the camera view was like going all the way down like Colburn Street, which like if you're from Brantford, you know Colburn Street's like the most busy shit, and like it was
Yeah,
like and me and him both agree that like that's our best interview together. So like that'd be my top three.
that's your top three. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, man. Fuck yeah. Man, let's talk about your brother. Um, is he someone you came up rapping with?
Um. No. So like one of the first shows that I ran, um, like I had met him just before this. Me and him had been talking about a show, and I was running the show, and I had somebody canceled like the day before, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, who should I get? I was like, oh, I just met Ross Burns, so like I was like, I'll ask him. He's like, yeah, man, I'll come out. He came out from Hamilton. He came out to Brantford, and he performed and he killed it. And then like maybe like a week or two after that, I was at another show, and he was there, and he was telling me, he was like, hey man, thanks for having me on the show. You're really cool shit. He's like, yo, if I started doing I've been doing the interviews, and he said, oh, if you want to meet all the Hamilton rappers, they all come to my studio. He's like, if you want to come out for the weekend, you can crash on my couch. You can interview all the Hamilton rappers and shit like that. And then when I went out there, I met like five rappers. Like actually, I met Bristow that day. When I went to Hamilton, um, and he introduced me to a bunch of rappers out there, Toxic, um, Tennessee, and
Mm-hmm.
then me and Burns had just developed a friendship, and he said, "Hey man, you can come out." Like he's like, my house is your house. So I can come out. You can do the interviews. So I can all the time. So I was going out there like every weekend, going to the shows in Hamilton, having rappers come to his house and doing the interviews, and me and him just like developed a fucking brothership after time, like man, like just chilling out, like he is a big part of like when I was getting to a point where it was getting hard to get new interviews and reach out farther, and like he really kind of like opened a whole another door for me, and like like Eddie GTV wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for him. Yeah, crash on my couch,
That's right, man.
and like he's like, yo, like, and yeah, and that was a long time ago. That was like, yeah, like I was saying, like back in 2012 when I like I've been just starting this shit.
Hell yeah. Man, you and me are so similar. I run my show off of pure fandom for the East Coast.
Yeah, yeah.
What made you fall in love with Ontario hip hop so deeply?
Just being at the shows, like meeting the people, like man, like some of these people that I met are like staples in my life. Like they're like it's more than just like doing the interviews with them. Like man, like after the interviews, we've drank all night and fucking wild out, and like had a fucking great time, and like some of the best memories of my life are with these people from the Ontario hip hop scene.
Exactly. That's exactly what I feel about the Maritimes.
Yeah,
Add the impossibility factor that we didn't have much. But the East Coast is so ill that everyone on the coast will pretty much drink with you and see if they like you. And if they like you, you're in forever. Like,
yeah,
fucking, I met some of my best friends at shows. My
yeah,
team to this day. because of doing shows on the East Coast. So I feel you on that one, big time, big time.
For sure,
Man,
there's so many rappers out there, but there's only a certain amount of rappers that actually do the shows and actually kind of like hustle to a certain point. Like there's a
yeah,
million rappers out there, but like there's tiers to this shit, and
mm,
like there's only a certain amount of rappers that actually kind of like consistently do the shows and shit. So like you be going out to these shows, and like next thing you know, like you've been hanging out with this person for like every weekend for a month at different
yeah,
venues, and you
hundred
you
percent.
didn't even know they were going to be there. You're like, oh shit, oh you're here again, oh that's dope, you know?
Oh fuck yeah, here, buy a beer, or fucking, you know what I mean? Like, let's drink.
For
Fuck
sure,
yeah,
for sure.
that's
Definitely.
what it is, man. That's how I met Maloney for the second time. The first time I met him, I was in Toronto, uh, doing a show for Freddie Fame. Shout out to
Yeah.
Tiff Sean. He she introduced me to Maloney and said, "Yo, he's starting Breaking Records Radio. You should send your music in." And then that was cool. And a few years later, I met him again on tour, and I ended up showing him, where to get some good beer and like, where to hang out, and showed him the city a little bit, and then we connected on a deeper level.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like developing like like friendships through this whole shit is like, man, like
Hmm.
it's beautiful. And then like, man, like yeah, like I said, like some of the like Burns, like man, I met him at a show. He was
Yeah,
like, oh, come out, crash on my couch, we'll go to all these shows together. You know?
hell yeah. Man, fucking, what's it like for you doing some of the bigger interviews? Some of the people that aren't your friends, some of the people you don't know or haven't met.
Um, like even like not even some of the bigger ones, like I said, like I just bring my camera to the shows a lot of times.
Yeah,
A lot of my interviews back in the day, I had just met the person or just like I didn't even know them beforehand. I had seen their set. I was like, I stay on in front of the stage and be like, oh shit, they're killing it on stage. I'm like, I want to
yeah,
get the person on the show. And so like I said, I just love conversating with people, and I love meeting new people, like new energy, and like it's an amazing thing because like when you meet new people, like your mind creates like it will give you new ideas, like different people's energies, and so yeah, it's not even just like the bigger people. It's a lot of these people that I just met at the shows, like some of the people I'm fans of first. And I'm
mm-hmm,
like, okay, like, when they're cool, you become more of a fan. And
yeah,
you're like, oh man, like I was a fan of this person before, and like I become more of a fan. And like it's been the opposite sometimes. I've been a fan of
yeah,
people, and I met them, and they were a complete dick, and I was like, I can't even look at your shit the
fuck,
same. I can't even look at your shit the same way, right? But it's like, yeah, but like I don't look at the bigger artists as like better than the you ever heard the term of like treat the sanitation worker?
yeah,
Like I'm on that. I'm on that.
man,
So I'll
you're
like
lucky to be on that, for
so
real.
like I'll talk to these people that are a big name the same way I would talk to like anybody I meet.
Hell yeah. I'm glad you didn't like say somebody who had a littler name. That would have been embarrassing as shit. But yo, fucking for me, like I get super starstruck when I meet my idols. Like,
Okay,
okay,
okay.
and there's some people that I haven't really met for prolonged periods of time because I didn't want to ruin my thoughts of them, you know?
Right, yeah. It definitely like I remember like going up to a rapper. I don't want to say his name, but
Mm,
I was a big fan of this person. And I went up to him. I introduced myself. I told him what I was. What I was. I had my camera bag on me. I'm like, my camera bag here. I'm like, would you like to do an interview? And he looked at me. He turned his body and kind of like just like didn't say a word. Just turned his body away from me.
he just ignored you physically.
Like he was looking at me the whole time I was talking to him. But as
Yeah.
soon as I was done saying what I said, he just
Mm,
turned his body and just like And then yeah, so I was like, man, that's a dick move. Like
Yeah.
I was a big fan of this person too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Let's talk about doing research. How do you get all your information for your interviews?
Um, honestly, a lot of it's like a freestyle. Like
Just
when I do these ones online, like I'll check out some of their music.
mhm.
Like I'll just like put on their music like maybe like when I was doing like the three interviews like every week. I'd have a routine where I'd take a nap at a certain time.
Mhm.
Then I'd wake up like an hour and a half beforehand, and I'd put on the music from those artists, and I would just listen to listen to the music, and I jumped into the interview because sometimes knowing too much um can kind of like throw things off too. Like it's kind of cool to find out things during the interview because then you're like, oh, okay, and then you can kind of like freestyle and move it in a different direction.
Hell yeah. You're right. Man, like sometimes I just want to go into an interview like blind and just like let my curiosity lead the way. But
Yeah.
man, like I'm so like self-conscious that it's like I have to know everything about this person before I sit down with them because I don't, you know what I mean? I want to like seem like I know what I'm doing or whatever. So like I'll spend 2 or 3 days just like nonstop researching the shit out of people, like doing mad Googles. Like
So
I
that's why.
want to know all the rap names, fucking like
Oh yeah.
everything, you know?
So that's why I appreciate different forms of like interviewers. Like
Yeah,
there's my style.
same,
There's my style, but I love Nardwar. I I
same.
I admit I'll never be on the research level of him. He's the goat of research.
Yep.
Uh, but like I love his interviews, but it's not my style. You
Right.
know? Yeah.
Hell yeah. I want to be on his level someday. I don't think I'll ever be. But the thing is like fucking his research is next level. Like he'll find out what you had for lunch today. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it's different with him. And but that's definitely an inspiration for me
Yeah,
because
but it's definitely great to have both forums because like even like he can research almost to a like I said like almost to a fault where it's like you stop having the conversation. Like you're just asking these questions. Like you're already having your mind on how this whole thing is going to go, and
yeah.
like the conversation can like switch and move in different directions. Like how I do it. It's great to have these different platforms and different people do different things different ways,
Hell
and I appreciate that. That like it's all hip hop, you know.
Same thing, man. I appreciate how everybody does it uniquely. My style isn't Adam 22's style. Your style isn't Nardwire's style. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. Maloney
Yeah,
probably has a different way how he interviews people.
for sure.
You
Like,
know,
and me and like me and Mo have interviewed people together, and like I can tell like the difference of our styles. Like, and like it's kind of cool. Like, have you actually done that yet? You interviewed somebody together with another interviewer.
no, I haven't. The
That's
closest I did to that
cool.
was when I was hosting with Froggy doing maritime hip hop.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
I want to do that too.
Yeah, yeah. That's definitely. Shout out to the Down to Earth podcast. Sean Myrie was talking to me about that. I got to message him and get back on that. But we were going
Hell
to
yeah.
interview people together.
It's funny you said that because I actually am in a group called Down the Number Two Earth, and it's me and my brother Trip, aka Dennis Collins. But yo, fucking shout out to the Down to Earth podcast.
For sure,
I
for
want
sure.
to steal your name. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Speaking of podcasts, talk to me about the No Condom podcast.
Oh man, the No Condom podcast is one of like, man, like some of the wildest shit like I've ever done. So it started out with we're in the Breaking Records. So Maloney had asked me about we had talked about this previously about me joining, and I was like, I got my AGTV, that's my baby. But I told him like I actually want to do some work together, but it might not be that. So
Right.
then I think it was maybe like a month later, or I can't remember the exact. It wasn't long, like the timeline. But I told him like, yeah, I want to do some work together, but I just didn't know what. And then so I said to him one day, I was like, hey, you want to do a podcast? Like I would try to just me and you, just talk about some like hip hop shit and some wild shit, right?
Right.
And then we went back and forth on names and shit like that. And then he actually came up with the he sent me like I sent him a list of names, and then he sent me a list of names, and like when he sent me the No Condom podcast, I was like, "Yep,
That's it.
I like it, raw."
Hell
So,
yeah.
So it started in yeah, and then like we started filming it, and we started doing it, and it was like you could see like because me and him had done like a bunch of interviews before that with just interviews, right? But you could tell like the growth of like the doing the show together from like episode 1 to 10
Mm-hmm.
was way different from 11 to 20, and from 21 to like 30 was like different. Like you could really tell like we're kind of like getting in a zone of like doing this shit. And still to this day, man, that's some of the funniest shit I've ever said on camera. Like that shit is like when I look back at some of those interviews, and like we were fucked up too. Like man, we were like
You were drinking for sure.
So we how we did some of those episodes, right? So how we did some of those episodes, so like because he's still living in Toronto, and I'm living here in Brantford. So like we would do like 4 episodes in a night, right? So like if you actually can, like, but
4 episodes in a night.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like we would always switch our shirts, so like people wouldn't be able to tell that like it was like the same night, right? Like we would always switch so like when I would go down to his house, I would bring like 4 shirts, and when he'd come down to my house, he'd bring like 4 shirts, and you'd just switch, right? And and like if you actually know which episodes are together, you can tell how fucked up we got more over the course of the night, because we'd be drinking the whole night, right, and getting more fucked up. And it was, man, like doing that show is like some of the most fun times in my life, man. Like some of the funniest shits, like, oh man, like shout out to Maloney, man. Like I had a great time doing but yeah, we do 4 in a night, and yeah, I actually I think it's episode 30 or 31 where like we had done the 3 episodes, and he had passed out on the couch, and I just turned on the camera, and like I freestyled the whole episode. I was talking to him, and I was answering for him, and
Yo, oh man, it's 31. You said
30 or 31. It's one of those. Like,
that's hilarious. Yo, look up the No Condom podcast. That shit is raw as fuck. Hell yeah.
When I actually told him that later on, he's like, oh man, like the next day or whatever like that. He's like, oh man, we only got 3. I'm like, no, we got 4.
Nah, there's an episode you don't really know about, bro. Oh my fuck. I wonder what he felt like when he watched it back.
But a buddy of mine had told me, he's like when he watched that, he's like, a buddy of mine that had been watching the show and like really kind of like give me a critique on it. He's like I can tell you, like, you could really do this when I did that episode. Because I was just like, I would say something, and then I would like, I would ask him about it, and
Yeah.
he was sleeping, and I would just be like, and I'd answer. Oh man,
Crazy.
good times, good times.
Crazy. Man, was that a scary episode because you were only doing it with one person?
You know what? Those ones were just filmed on the camera, so like it was just like if it doesn't work out, like it wasn't live.
Yeah.
So
And you
if
weren't exporting the
it doesn't work
audio.
out, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You know, there's definitely episodes where we got too fucked up and we didn't put those ones out. Like there's ones where we got like, man, like when you see some of the episodes, you're like, man, these guys got too fucked up on a lot of these episodes.
What's the border? What's the borderline?
Man, like just like looking back and just like like both of us would be like, yo, that's way too cringe worthy. Like we're way fucked up on this point. Let's not put this one out.
Do you watch them the next day when you're sober?
Oh yeah, like that week when when I'm editing, I'm like, oh shit, this shit's wild.
Yo, like, that's the problem I have with podcast stuff. I have a real hard time of watching my own stuff.
Yeah, like for us, like I gotta edit it, and and like clips are a huge part of this whole game, man. Like cutting your clips, like man, like me and Maloney have a podcast on the a clip on the Breaking Records radio YouTube that has over 100,000 views. And it's us talking about masturbating in public.
Yes, yes, we gotta have that conversation as men. That's for real, for real.
For sure.
Hell yeah.
But a lot of those, like I said, like some of the stuff was freestyle. Like some of the stuff would we never actually like kind of like wrote down like everything we are gonna say. It was kind of like just a topic. Like we're like, yeah, we're gonna talk about this topic, and we're gonna just like freestyle it.
I would be way more comfortable to freestyle a podcast than I would be an interview, you know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's like something that the person on the other side looks for, like some promotion or some value that you bring. You know what I mean? That you just can't freestyle. In my case, anyways.
Well, even like when we're doing the four episodes, like sometimes like we would run through like all our topics in the first 2 episodes, and then it'd be like, all right, well let's just go in and do the next one. Like we don't have any topics, and we freestyle them, and definitely like doing that, like not every episode is going to be like the best episode, but man, like you can get some real good gems as like some of those like some of our best episodes are the ones where we had a bunch of topics already ready and we talked about those things, and some of our best episodes are when like we didn't have a single topic ready and we just went in.
Hell yeah. Man, and it's all about taking swings of the bat, you know? It's just like how many pitches are you going to swing at?
And like and I think with that is like why I feel like good about freestyling over some of the shit is like it's really hard to make me feel embarrassed. Like that's one thing like in my life that it's really hard to make me feel embarrassed. Like I'll joke on myself, I'll say whatever, I'll fuck up, I'll do things, and it's like, but like yeah, it's like that's one thing like with this shit. It's like if you can't be embarrassed, like or it's very hard to get you embarrassed, you can create great content. You know?
That's a fact, man. And like I'm constantly fighting myself because like I am easily embarrassed, or I feel like I am. So like to fight that, I'll just call myself out. Like, yo, I'm blowing my nose a lot this episode. It's fucking crazy. Like I'm calling myself out, you know? Like fucking as long as you keep it real, motherfuckers will relate to that shit, no matter what.
For sure, for
I
sure.
feel. I feel. Man, let's talk about overcoming challenges.
Okay, okay.
Because I know that's a big part of my life, being legally
Me too.
blind.
Me
Um,
too.
Man, everything's a challenge. Everything new is a challenge. Like when I first got into rap, that was a challenge for me because I had to figure out a way to remember my lyrics in the booth. So I just got to the point where I memorized everything. Fucking, um, but like that's just me embracing my disability in that way. Um,
To me, you've heard it in this interview. Like, I have a stutter, but
yeah.
like, I just keep talking. Like, so what? I have a stutter. I'm gonna say ill shit, you know?
Hell yeah, that's a fact, man.
like,
Um, and like being having a speech impediment, man, like it makes it harder for you, but at the same time, it also sets you apart as a different type of interviewer.
exactly, exactly.
You know, um, so like if you can take some punches to win the fight, it's all good in my eyes.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, not every win's a flawless victory.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
man, like sometimes you go through some shit, and
Yeah.
those are the wins. Those are the real wins, man. Like when you look back, you're like, yo, I did this, and I came up like this.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm a fucking beast.
Right.
I'm a
Yo, it's
fucking beast.
crazy. But only you know the challenges you had to get through to make a triumph.
And that's with everybody. And like everybody has challenges, and that's why like it's really hard to like judge people on like some of their shit because like you don't know what people have been through.
No, you don't know what they're going through that moment. Like,
Right.
fuck, man.
Even the challenges of like doing something like interviews, like man, like there's been times when I got gone out to a show, and man, like I've been depressed as shit. Like on my way out there, I'm like,
Yeah,
man, I'm going through some shit. Fucking life ain't fucking working out for me right now. Fucking, and I get out to that show and I do that interview. It's like I turn that shit off.
hell
And
yeah.
and it's not easy. A lot of people can't do that. But like it's like if you really wanna, it's like that thing. If you really want it, you gotta do it. And it's like yeah, like sometimes like I've like and people would never know. I've had interviews where like I was laughing the whole time and we were having a great time. And
Yeah.
prior to that, like on the way out there, I was like fucking going through it. I might have been even fucking like crying on the fucking bus right out there, like fucking on
Your
something.
girl broke up with you, or
Yeah,
fucking your dog died, and you never know.
yeah, exactly, exactly. But
And we
and like
still
yeah,
have to put on a show.
and for me, I don't know if this is necessarily a good thing, but but I realized like when I would show how I'm feeling sometimes when I'm down,
Hmm.
that like people would be like, oh, what's wrong, and then like they didn't really understand like when I tell them, and
Yeah,
it'd make it worse. So
for
like
sure.
I've really gotten to this like kind of thing of like, okay, like don't show that.
Don't tell nobody.
Like like if I'm in a room by myself and I'm ready to walk into a room with a bunch of
Yeah.
people, like I'll like kind of take a deep breath. All right, go do this. You know, just
Yep.
kind of because a lot of people just don't understand like the shit you're going through. So people say, oh,
Absolutely.
you want to talk about it? You want to talk about it? Like, oh, you can talk to me anytime. People say that. It's like, what are we going to talk about?
You
Like,
wouldn't get it.
like and and sometimes just talking about it is not going to change the thing. It's like the actions have to change. Like
Yeah.
and I realized that too. Like when I was probably through my worst times, and I went and talked to some of my best friends about some of the things, and then they didn't understand.
Yeah. That's
I
what's
was like,
crazy.
I need to change my actions when I'm feeling these things. Like
Yeah.
my actions are the only thing that is really going to get me through this. You know?
Yeah. Absolutely. No matter what you're feeling, you got to do the job.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta get it done.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And we out here.
And even like for challenges too, like a big challenge for me, like people know, like I've been, I was, I've been fat for a long time, and I actually got to the point where it's like it really kind of I had some health issues and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I remember there was one major thing that was um, so like me, I'm not embarrassed about some of this shit. Like I just tell you, like I actually got a piece of fat that got into the tube going to my balls,
Yeah.
and that shit was the worst pain of my life. And and that was like the whole start of like I need to start getting on my healthy shit. And then another point was I was on my way to work, and I was coming up to a busy street, and the light was about to change, so I jogged to make it across the street. When I made it across the street, I felt so dizzy that I felt I was gonna pass out. And I was like, yo, if I'm like that, I'll like just jogging across the street. I need to change my life because like fucking I'm not gonna make it past 40 if I fucking keep on going the way I am.
Right.
So I've been really on my health kick. Like at the beginning of March, I was 308, and now I'm 275.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just getting that shit down, and just you really gotta like fucking these challenges. You gotta fucking knuckle down and get it done. Like
You
no
know
matter
it's
how hard
important. You got to push through.
no matter how hard it is, like man, like there's been times where like I didn't do anything for an hour because I was fucking thinking about going to the store and getting fucking junk food. Like that's all I could think about for an hour, and I didn't really do anything. But it was like I had to force myself to, like not go. You know, like
Yeah.
and
I get into habit every day where I go to the local corner store and get a bag of chips and some sour candy, you know what I mean? And like it gets to a point where when I'm broke, fucking it really fucks me up when I can't go to the store and buy the bag of chips and fucking some
for real,
candy, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? It
No,
really
for real.
does.
And then like on top of that is like when like you're like, yo, like fucking I'm having these health issues, but like I fucking craving that shit from the store, and like
Hard.
fucking it's like yo, like if I want to live and I want to have my life be better, it's like I gotta fight these urges
Yeah.
and like people like there's so many things that can be a real addiction. Like people say like people just talk about drugs, but like man like fast food is like can be like a fucking bad addiction.
Anything you like can be an addiction. Water can be an addiction.
Yeah. I,
You know what I mean? If you like that shit, it can be an addiction. For real. Like, on God. Man, all right, let's talk about some of the bigger interviews you've done, all right?
okay.
How did you get the Ryan PvP interview? Because no one's interviewing him. Like, he's huge and he's secretive.
That was a big one for me. Yeah, like he was actually how I met him was he was a guest on we didn't have really much guests on the No Comment podcast, but he was a guest on the No Comment podcast. He came out to Maloney's crib, him and Chris Thomas, and we had a great time. And like I said, like while I'm doing content with these people, and then chilling with them, and having a good night with them, and then I met him through that, and then I just reached out to him. I just reached out to him like when I was doing the interviews, and I was like, "Hey, man, I like to really talk about all the King of Dot history and all that kind of shit," and he was down, and because we had met and we had a good rapport, yeah, that's what that was. Yeah,
He's an integral part of what King of the Dot did,
for
and
sure.
he doesn't really speak out about it a lot. So I was really pumped to see him on your platform.
And we talked about all that. Like I was like, man, I was excited about that. I was like, yeah, it's like because I'm a big King of the Dot fan myself.
Yeah.
Like I've actually been out to like a lot of the events.
Hell yeah.
And then so actually that shout out to King of Dot because it was at a King of Dot event where I got my first Sharon interview, and it was at King of Dot where I got my first DNA interview.
Oh shit. You
Yeah,
got a DNA interview.
yeah, yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. For him, I actually I had emailed him like prior to like I actually knew he was going to be there, so like I emailed him and I said, hey, here's what give him the whole email of like here's what I do. I'm going to be at this show. And he's like, yeah, yeah, we'll do the interview. And then
Yeah.
Bishop Brigante, he had come into the interview like when I was uh, uh, interviewing DNA too. So he had jumped in my interview. Yeah.
Take that fucking mirror down
And
now.
it was actually funny. So like right after that interview, because like DNA had never done like a rematch with anybody, right?
Right.
And I asked him, I was like, one of my favorite ones of him back then was is one with Roan. And
Mm.
I asked him if he'd do a rematch, and he's like, oh, I haven't done a rematch with anybody, but like Roan would be a good one. And then he ended up doing it like right after that, like 2 months later. His first like rematch was
You put that in his head.
yeah, yeah. And then
Fuck.
and I brought up the 2-on-2s,
Mm.
and like 2-on-2s had happened before. I'm not gonna take credit for like saying like, oh, 2-on-2s, but like
Hmm.
he really brought that shit back too. So like
DNA was fucking crucial
yeah.
in the 2-on-2s.
So
I
like
think he was with K-Shine. Who was he
yeah,
with?
yeah, K Shine. But like actually like I think he had been working. He had been doing a lot of stuff with Charlie Clips. So I
Yes,
asked,
Clips is who I was thinking about.
I asked him if he was going to do 2-on-2s with Clips. Then he ended up doing the 2-on-2s with K Shine. But like
Wow.
that interview, like if you actually look back at the timing of that, like it's like right before all that kind of shit started happening. It was kind of cool.
Yo, that's a vibe. When you get on the cusp of something that's about to happen or has just happened,
Yeah, yeah,
man, that's a fucking vibe.
for sure.
Yo,
For sure.
I'd be so hyped when I
Actually,
know there's like a
that,
juicy story.
that same night to go back on when I did on the DNA interview, that there's actually a battle on the King of Dot channel where it's Sharon and DNA are teammates against the winners of the King of Dot Squad Tour, Toxic and I think it was AR.
Hmm.
There's actually a battle on the King of Dot channel that was filmed by me.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
How is
yeah.
that working with them?
Because I had filmed the other battles that night, and then so I had filmed that one, and Organic had come up to me like right after that, and he was like, "Hey, can you send me that one?" Like he told me I could have the other ones. Like he wanted that one. I was like, "Yeah, man, for sure." Like I just got a bunch of content from it, and like
He
he
gave
wanted
you
that one.
content?
Well, I have videos on my channel from the King of Dot Squad tour.
Wow.
Yeah. So like, but for that particular one, he wanted it, so I sent it to them. And
Yeah.
yeah, when you watch that video, in the description, it says filmed by Eddie G.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Eddie GTV.
Uh, yeah,
Talk
yeah,
your shit.
yeah, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Do you have a Facebook group?
I do, but I barely ever use it. I need to get back on it. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Shout out to everyone who liked and followed the East Coast Coverage Facebook group. It's over 300 now. It's lit.
For the groups, I actually need to get more on that. Like, I kind of just check out my newsfeed and yeah, for the Facebook groups, I definitely need to pay more attention to that.
Shout out to the Facebook groups.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
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 dude. Hell yeah. Man, you're such a fucking legend. I appreciate you so
oh man,
much for taking the time to kick it with me for 2 hours.
for sure, for sure. Been, oh shit, we're up. What are we at?
I don't even know. What are we at?
Yeah, it's been 2 hours. Yeah,
It's been 2 fucking hours. You are the fucking
yeah.
man. Shout out to Eddie GTV. Shout out
Oh,
to Eddie G. You know what I mean? Uh, Glenn Edwards. You know what I
yeah,
mean? One
yeah,
of the realest. Um, and you know, Eddie G really proves that it's good to be a fan sometimes. You don't
yeah. And
always have to be too cool for school.
like the actual name is it's just a name flip of my Glenn Edwards. The G is for
Hell
Glenn.
yeah, it is.
And like for the name like Eddie, um my grandpa he didn't want to be called grandpa. He wanted to be called Eddie. So like he was a big inspiration in my life. Um like I think I got a lot of my humor from him.
Yeah,
So like so when I was thinking about a name to go by, I was like, yo, I'm going with Eddie.
Eddie G.
Eddie G. Yeah,
Eddie
yeah.
G. Man, we are looking forward to all the dope content you're gonna hit us with soon. Peace,
Yeah,
love, and respect. It's
for
hip
sure,
hop,
for sure.
baby.
Oh, and one last thing, I'm so next week, yeah, I got another person. I'm gonna be on the show from the Breaking Records family. Filthy Tarantino.
Shout out to Filthy.
He's gonna be on the show next week. So yeah, make sure
Tune
everybody.
in.
Yeah,
Tune in
yeah.
to Eddie G TV.
Um,
Definitely a strong affiliate with Breaking Records Radio.
for sure, for sure.
And we appreciate all the content that you give us and everything you do for the culture, man.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate you, man. Like, you're definitely doing your thing. You're grinding. You're getting this dope content out. Man, you don't want to feel embarrassed, man. Just like, fuck it, man. You are who you are. You know?
I
Let
am
'em
who
know.
I am. My eyes look as fucked as they look. I
Stick your
don't care.
stick your chest out and fucking brah. You know?
Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. Thank you for your time.
For sure. Thank you. All right.
Fuck yeah. Peace, love, and respect. It's hip hop, baby. Yeah. Man, that was the illest simulcast to ever happen. I mean, it wasn't simultaneous, but it was back-to-back jacks. Shout out to everyone that tuned in. Shout out to my bro Dennis. Shout out to everybody I can see, which is only Dennis. But yo, shout out to everybody that tuned in. You know what it is, man. Peace, love, and respect. It's hip hop, baby.
We are going to examine a specimen as of yet. Roger that, now I'm on demand. Felt to crumble cats in my hand, castles in the sand.
They're looking at me like they need some guidance. My speech is vibrant, brace for cheese to reach the zenith like a seasoned pilot.
Make 'em holler like mom's calling for dinner. I'ma eat, throw my feet up and just walk. Yo, beat the funky flow is here. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. I got 99 bitches, only one real problem. Don't worry, night sweat. I'm a life every day's a titan fight to the death. But they ain't shit like the diaper just wet. You seeing twins on stage, or I'm nice with the set songs.
You wanna join the rap gold rush? End up sipping on clone dust. Not us, we from a whole different mode was. I'm with all the banging and the bold stuff. Come on. You wanna join the rap gold rush? End up sniffing on clone dust.
Calm down, my selector.